Hello everybody, March already, can you believe it? Very, very busy month coming up. This might be a slightly longer What's On than we normally do because there's just so much going on.
Yeah, let's do the podcast, get the podcast done first.
Okay, and then we'll come back to some of the things going on that you may well want to take part in. As ever, video premiere is on a Tuesday at 8 o'clock on YouTube. Audio versions go out on a Friday morning, wherever you get your podcasts, and our website. Tuesday the 3rd, we've got an event that we just recorded at the weekend, which was Edinburgh Women for Indy did a hustings in Edinburgh with two extremely impressive women candidates for the Holyrood elections. There should have been 4, but you'll find out in the recording why it ended up as 2, but those two certainly well worth watching, and they were both brilliant. I just thought, imagine a Holyrood full of people like that, clear, focused, cooperative,
respectful, quite able to, crack a joke or take a joke, and I mean the atmosphere between them was just lovely. It was. Lovely. I mean it was like that for the audience as well, and you kind of got the impression that although they're from two different parties, there was a lot of overlap about how they'd like things to be done in Holyrood and what they'd like to happen, and it's great seeing that. It
was fantastic. Really good. And when I listened to it back, the questions that were asked from the audience was such a range of different questions. So it's a really good discussion all round. It was a very nice event, and well done, Selma and everybody else at Edinburgh Women for Indy for getting that on.
Yeah. And it's called So You Want Our Vote?
Yes, a great title. That's why we've nicked it. That was Selma's title.
That was Selma's title, so we've nicked it, yeah.
The following week, the 10th, we are hoping to have a recording from Pensioners for Indy with their guest, Craig Murray. Now, Craig is always an interesting character and just seems to have a finger in a lot of pies. Most recently, he's been involved with the court case to get the judicial review of the Palestine action ban, which I don't think the court case will have taken place by the time we speak to him, will it?
I went onto the court session website to find out, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Originally, we'd thought it was happening in February, so we'll need to keep an eye on it, but at any rate, he'll be able to give us the background to all of that, as well as other things that he's been involved with, notably the attempt to take Scotland's quest for independence to the United Nations.
Yeah. Also, an interesting thing that I hope comes up is he jumped from whatever party he was in before, I think it was Alba, was it, to your party? How's that working out? What's going on there? There's just so much of interesting. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but
we were meant to have recorded it already, but before now it was meant to be done this week actually, and it couldn't happen. Had to get rescheduled because the man was in Venezuela. So no doubt we'll find out a bit about what's going on there as well, actually. So it's
going to be interesting. The following week, the 17th, we are hoping to have Selina Hales, who is from the organisation Refugee. And one of the reasons we particularly wanted to speak to Selina is not only have Refugee have just put out their manifesto, what they would like politicians to focus on for the election, but in view of the threat from Reform UK and all the reform even further right or Rupert even lower, we've also got what's been going on in Falkirk. We've got what's been going on in Perth. I heard there was something happening in Dumfries recently. And this is just not Scotland. This is not the way that we should be conducting ourselves. So the thing that's missing is the positive narrative and any sense of people as human beings with stories. And I'm really hoping that's what
interestingly, I've just read an article which was in The Guardian, and it's about a film that's coming out, and the film has been made about the incident in Kenmure Street in Glasgow when, it's years back, I think it was 2021, when the Home Office sent up their van, 2 guys got taken out early morning. Kenmure Street folk thought, we're not having that. And it was all stopped. It wasn't only the folk in Kenmure Street. A whole load of other locals came to help, and there's been a film made of it. And that's exactly what you've just said. It's a positive story, and it's about human beings and their lives, and actually how they would have been so much differently if that whole kind of community response hadn't happened. So I'm really looking forward to talking to Selena. Yeah,
definitely. Good. Me too. Yes, me too. And then the week after that, we've got another guest, Ciara McLean, who's a stained glass artist. Now, Marlene and I went on, we called it a stained glass safari. Was it last week? We went,
just last week, yeah.
Just last week. There's so much has happened. It kind of feels like last month. But we went round 3 of the libraries in Glasgow City that feature stained glass windows that Ciara has done, and they're amazing things. And what I loved about them, I'll just pull this up so you get this is Pollokshaws, that's right. Yeah. John McLean. Now we featured a memorial lecture about John McLean's life, and he's an astonishing iconic socialist character for Scotland. But isn't it nice to see stained glass that's not in a religious setting, it's actually political? And there's a whole host of other topics that she's covered, from the Irish famine and, people coming to Glasgow and the integration of people and inclusion and women's support, just things that are really important. So
yes, and the thing is, it's not like it's just Ciara who does these. I mean, she's obviously got the practical skill, and she can communicate that and help people, but she works with the local communities. So every one of these windows, so we started out at Easterhouse, and then we were in Govanhill, and then we went to Pollokshaws, and separately I went to Woodside Library, which is another one that's got stained glass, and she works with the local folk in the local community, schools. One of the windows in Govanhill was done by one of the years at the local school, so she gets people talking. She gets them to sort of own their own community and tell her what should be in the window, and then they do it together. Oh, fantastic.
So that's the 24th, and then March has got 5 Tuesdays in it. So the 31st, we are going to do something about energy. Now, that is such a big topic that the challenge for us between now and then is going to be narrowing it down. What are we going to focus on? What aspect?
Yeah.
And there's lots of different things we can we've given ourselves a few weeks to get that one right. That's the podcasting fair that we're focusing on.
Phew.
There might be extras, who knows? We often throw in the odd extra, but especially when there's a lot happening. So if we move on to the events that you might want to take part in, the first one I've got on my list is the 8th of March in Edinburgh. There's a march for International Women's Day.
Yeah.
There's a Facebook page if you just want to find out more about that. We did think about going to that, but unfortunately, we've just got so much else on. We're not going to be able to make that one. Yeah. But it looks like it's a lot of fun. I mean, looking at their Facebook page, some of the posters that they've had from previous marches look really good. And then on the 14th, we've got a joint event from the Independence Forum for Scotland and Yes United. So what we'll do now, we'll just let William Duguid, who's been organising it, tell you a bit about that. Mm-hmm. William, you have been up to your eyes, I'm sure, in organising the latest Independence Forum for Scotland event. Tell us about it. How's it going?
Well, it's a joint event, which is different. Last year, you recall, we ran 3 Independence Forum conventions. But for the first event of 2026, we're getting together with Yes United, who also have organised 3 events in the last 6 months and are, if you like, the new group on the block, and they've got a lot going on with themselves. And we decided that we can't just say the Yes Movement's got together without actually doing something about it. So we thought it was good to do a joint event. So this is what we're calling the IFS Yes United Spring Conference. It'll be on Saturday, the 14th of March, which I know is a very busy day for other people, but I think Scotland is big enough to do different things in different places on the same day, so that's good. It's at Oranmore in Glasgow, which is, if you like, a step up from the sort of event that either group has been involved in the past. And so we've decided to make it a bit of an extravaganza. So we've got a daytime event, which is very much like the IFS conventions that people will have seen last year. We're going to be focusing on the economy, energy and Europe, and how that would feature, what Independent Scotland's options would be for all of these. So we're going to be doing some hard thinking during the day. That'll be in World Cafe style, and we'll have some fairly familiar faces as facilitators, 3 for each of the 3 topics. Marlene is one of them, yes. So they've all been briefed on what they need to do, and various different aspects will come up. It's very important that the people who are there get the chance to express their views. That hasn't always been the case in all the conventions we've done, because sometimes when you're taking questions from the audience, people go on a bit, and it'll be important that the facilitators get everybody to talk about what they need to talk about, so we can really get some proper views out of it. So that'll be the bulk of the day. We've also got an opening speech from Leslie Riddoch, which will no doubt feature on Scotland's role in the world and how Nordic, or not Nordic, rather, it might be. We've got Phil Boswell doing the keynote speech in the afternoon, and he's actually a very good speaker, and you only see the tip of it when you see him on the Scottish Prism. And we'll be finishing off with Jim Siller. So we've got some good speeches as well. And because of all that, I've got to warn your viewers anyway, the day convention is pretty well sold out. We've got 120 people down for it. There'll be some other extras on top of that. And that's really the numbers that it's sort of optimal to go with. So we are running a waiting list, and you can join that by writing to us at convention@independenceforum.scot. And if anybody does have to pull out, then that's fine. It does cost £10 for the day, plus ticket source fees, but you do get fed for it. And I think Oran can put on the food, and that's fairly good. And you'll get teas and coffees and all sorts of things. And hopefully that will be a very successful day. But the thing we're really focusing on now, because having said that, we've got to make sure it works well, and we're working away in the background on that. But the evening event is really the thing that's different, because that is what we've called putting the band back together in terms of the guest movement, and very much in terms of the creative aspects of it. So it's a musical and spoken word evening with some fairly big names. We've got Eddie Reader and John Douglas, for example, Bobby Bluebell, Rue Geddes, Sula Day, Mellow Party, the Countess of Fife, and I'll bet I've forgotten Tommy Mackay. See, I told you I would have forgotten somebody. Even now I've probably forgotten some. That's just the musical side of things. We've then got the Seahorse group of poets, which is Alan Gaw and Graham Fulton, Jen Dunn, let's see, Donna Matthew, and yes, once again, I've forgotten one, and I'll look down at my notes and tell you that it's Linda Jackson. There you are. And we'll have hopefully, various video contributions from others who can't make it on the night, because there is a lot going on. But we expect it to be really bringing back the spirit of National Collective. If you think back to 2014, that was a very important part of the whole thing. And it fell away quite quickly afterwards. National Collective ceased to exist as an organisation not long after the referendum, and I think that was a great shame. And we've been working in the background with Artists for Independence, which is another new group on the block, but they are very keen to evoke this National Collective spirit again. And I hope that it'll be the start of something rather than the finish of something. It's not just something leading into the election, it's something that might bring about something later. It's about supporting Scottish artists, and it's also about just letting our hair down after doing all the hard work during the day and bringing the fun back into the independence movement.
Oh, that sounds great. If people can't get there, either can't get there during the day or they can't get a ticket, is it being live streamed?
I gather that Indy Live will be live streaming it, but I think it's always better to be there than just to do the live stream. I should say,
yes, absolutely.
The evening part will cost you £20 plus fees, but I think that's fantastic value for what you're going to get. We've got about between 150 and 180 people lined up now, but there's room for more at Oranmore. So we very much hope that people will join us. And if I can just say, it's against the background of things not being great for the artistic community in Scotland right now, because there's what I might term a bit of cultural vandalism going on from BBC Radio Scotland, particularly in their coverage and the way they're treating the arts. And this really is a wee bit of a kickback against that, to say, look, we're here and take notice of us, and we're important, and we're going to have a feature in what comes next, really. So
absolutely,
big hopes up for that one.
Yeah. Well done. There was obviously been a
Great.
lot of work involved in getting all this off the ground. So yeah, thank you and the others on both teams.
Yeah, get your ticket, come along if you possibly can, and if you can't come along, spread the word about it. Let people know it's happening, and hopefully we'll get a full house for it.
Yeah, great.
Excellent. Well, we'll put the link in the notes to the podcast as well.
Thank you.
And then between the 19th and the 21st of March in Leith, William Thomson has got a conference about economics. We've got guests from all over the world. If you listen to our last week's podcast, he was talking about it, and we'll just play you the little clip that's specifically about the conference. So here's the other William.
We've got a 3-day conference in Edinburgh, 19th, 20th, 21st. It's actually a festival. It's a 3-day festival. We've got sessions on Thursday night, Friday and Saturday. We've got 20 sessions in total. And it's about, you can concession ticket, £5.50, and you can make a little bit more of a contribution if you're able to for each of the session. On Thursday, we've got a couple of fantastic professors, one coming in online, one visiting us from Texas University, Professor. It's a wonderful, John Harvey is one of my favourite professors. He's joining us in person on Thursday. And then on Friday, we've got a full day starting at 12 o'clock, and we have 7 or 8 sessions on the Friday. And then on Saturday, we start again at 12 o'clock, right through until 10 o'clock. Lots of really interesting, very different stuff. We're talking about the impact of Trump and democracy. We're looking at why we only really hear one economic narrative. And we all think it's a kind of a different narrative, but it's actually the same narrative. We've got a couple of sessions trying to explain austerity and the impact of fiscal rules. We're looking at the well-being economy. We're looking at land. So we're trying to cover as much as we can over 3 days, but with a few kind of consistent themes. That there is an alternative to what we hear, why it's so important to link the economy with democracy, and realizing that every economic decision is actually a political decision. And we kind of finish with, I think, the real strongest theme, which is to explain to people that austerity is a choice and that governments can do so much more with the power we've got. It's a real kind of festival. It's really informal. We're expecting, people to be talking about the economy in ways that everyone understands. It's not jargon heavy. It's not technical or overly technical in any way. And it really is designed to try and get as many people to the festival as possible to understand that there is an alternative, and not to be so depressed about the way the economy is, because the power lies with us and our ability to change it. Got a really good website called scoteconfest.org, and you can jump on there and it gives you all of the individual sessions. You can also buy a ticket just for the Thursday or the Friday or the Saturday, and we've also got an online ticket. So if you can't make it to Edinburgh, we've actually sold a few tickets to America this year because of some of the topics that we're covering. So if you can't make it to the event, there's an online ticket. You can watch live, but you also got all of the recordings as well.
Like that.
That was good. I'm looking forward to listening to the cowboy economist.
Yes, he sounds very interesting.
Obviously, William thinks highly of him as an economist, but it's just quite funny, isn't it? He calls himself that, and he's got a big Stetson.
There's so much to choose from, and we'll put the link to the website for that festival in the notes to this, and you can pick different days, different sessions, online ticket, whole thing, lots of different options. Then on the 26th of January, we think there's going to be Scottish CND are going to have a hustings. It's going to be in Edinburgh. What we just haven't heard yet is confirmation that it's going ahead. So I would keep an eye on Scottish CND's website. We'll put the link to that in the notes as well.
As far as we know, it was scheduled to happen in the Quaker Meeting House, wasn't it? In Edinburgh. So keep an eye out for it. We did try and get more info before this, but haven't heard back yet.
28th, of course, the Believe in Scotland March. Hot off the press, we've just heard that the route is changing. So instead of the march going to Holyrood. It's going to veer off at the bottom of the high street, and it's going to go up Carlton Hill as well. Now, wonderful, iconic setting, fabulous views, great place for a rally.
It's a shame it's had to change in some ways, but I must say I'm quite looking forward to ending up in Carlton Hill. Brilliant.
Yes, it's fabulous. I was up there a few years ago. It was one of these Not My King protests. Or
yes, I remember you were there.
Remember that one? And yeah, but you do stand there and you feel as if you're standing in the footsteps of, you know, people who've gone before you. It really is quite an iconic place.
Go into Believe in Scotland website. They'll have all the details. But also the other thing is it's not meeting starting off from the usual place either. It's starting off in front of St Giles. Yeah. Which is actually quite a good place to start off, but it has changed around a bit. So yeah, take that on board. And haven't heard anything about who's going to be speaking at the rally or anything, but you know, it'll be good.
Oh, it will be good. Yes, we're definitely looking forward to that one. And then scattered throughout the next couple of months, Leslie Riddick is also doing showings of the latest film about Finland.
Have a look on the website and you can get tickets from there.
Yeah, we're going to the Stirling one, aren't we? We're going to the one at the McRoberts. So, but there's plenty of choices. There you go. Tons going on.
I know. That'll get us to the end of March, and then it'll just be 5 weeks before this election. Wow, God.
Catch you
Bye
later.
then, folks.
Bye. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to make sure you're following us and subscribe to us, then you get notified every time we put something new out so you don't miss anything. That would be great. Also, you can click the little bell if you're watching on YouTube.
And sign up for our mailing list. You can do that from the website, and we always send one out at the beginning of each month to tell you what's happening. Last but not least, you can buy us a coffee on coffee.com.